Hello. It is time for the Sketch Weekly stream. And if you're seeing this part of it, then you are clearly watching on YouTube. So, do the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, all of that shit. If you hate the video, go ahead, click dislike, tell YouTube to stop showing you this stuff. Really, if you don't want to be here, I'm not trying to make you, okay? Do what you like. You don't have to like me. Lots of people don't like me. Meanwhile, let me jump over here into the... Let me jump over here into the voice channel on the Discord server, because that's where the actual live stream takes place. And I'm going to go into screen sharing, and I'm going to scroll on down here and find the... Where did it go? There it is. I'm going to find the appropriate window. There it is. We're doing okay. Yep. Streaming. It's not going to let me change the name of the preview window. Well, that sucks. So let's go ahead and kick that up. Alrighty. Okay, so that's in, that's up, that's streaming. There we go. 'Cause looking at my Gucci, it's about that time. The MC School AD to start humming a rhyme. I heard you been out there biting my lines, and if I catch you, boy, your ass is mine. Okay, so I'm going to kind of touch base here and talk about Groping Festival, which is the game that I'm working on. And I need to kind of touch base on what the action items are and what I have and have not been working on, because that's kind of important. What have I been working on? Trying to draw anime chicks. That's what I've been working on. Holy shit, I still got it on move. I've been working on the anime chick in the middle. Obviously, I cannot use pictures of Gargura and Hololive VTubers. I can't do that shit. That's not okay. So I'm going to have to do something that is not that. And, oh, shit. Let's undo. Yeah, I need to be working on the annotations menu. So I've been working on this draw the anime check, but there's other stuff that needs to be done, like over here. The sound settings dialog. That needs to be popped out into its own window. So you hit a settings button, and you would have like a little button that means settings, and then you would click on that and the window would pop up and you would do your shit and then okay, and then it would apply everything and you'd be done. But right now I just have it kind of sitting up here because I'm interested in making sure it works properly. And I have this little test bit here, this little DPS thing that you click on it and it makes damage per second happen. So it reduces the hit points or health points, depending on how you look at it, of the central character established here. And then here I've got the little counter for how many panties you've picked up. So what needs to happen is, number one, we need actual like user interface to go around this. And I need to kind of answer some gameplay questions around that because they're important. One of them being, for example, you take a game like DPS Idol, which was actually the original inspiration for building Groping Festival, because I was like, this is a neat concept, but I don't think they have implemented it well. And I don't have any of the neat stuff like listed here. But they have these little buttons here that you use to, let me move this layer up. They have these little buttons here that you use to, you know what, that's not a good solution either. Let's create a new layer and we'll put that new layer over top of it. Okay, so we've got these two buttons that you use to move from enemy to enemy. So it just keeps killing the same guy over and over and over again until you move to the next one or move back to a previous one. And you can back up and move forward and stuff like that. Now, it's more common in a game like this, for example, in Insanity Clicker, to just have it move on to the next one automatically. Just have a collection of enemies on the level, and you just automatically move from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, which is also the way that Clicker Heroes works. And this just moves on from one level to the next, to the next, to the next, but it won't move to a new level once you finish the one you're currently on, unless you come back and manually move to that level. It'll move forward while you're running the game, but it will not progress while you're away from the game. It will just sit and grind the same level because that's easier. Insanity Clicker does it a little bit differently. And I don't know which of those ways is the right way to do this, but I'm thinking along the lines of having that stuff. I'm thinking along the lines of having the level automatically incremented for you, but that makes the offline progress a little bit harder to calculate. Because if you're calculating offline progress on a moving target, that's one thing. Whereas when you have to move manually, if you're offline, you're not moving. If you're not moving, then you're continuing to attack the same enemy over and over, or in this case, grope the same girl over and over until she drops more and more and more panties. This obviously gets very, very ridiculous because you have the girl dropping panties upon panties upon panties upon panties. And I think that's going to be hysterical. Some people are just going to think it's stupid and they're going to complain. I don't fucking care. They can do whatever they want. But I need to figure out how that's going to work, if I'm going to have like the individual buttons and you have to switch back and forth between girls, or if it's going to move automatically among the different levels. And that's another thing, is different levels. When you look at these games, you have them working with, there's a particular setting and you kill a bunch of monsters in that setting, and then it moves on to the next setting where you kill a bunch more monsters, but they're different monsters. And one of the things that I was thinking was typically you have 10 of an enemy, and then 10 of another type of enemy, and then 10 of another type, 10 of another type, and so on and so forth. You don't need a lot of these. You don't need like 50 different settings. You only need like 4 or 5 that like rotate. So one of the things that I need is I need to draw a bunch of pictures of girls. That's probably the hardest part for me, is the part where I have to draw bunches of pictures of girls, because I haven't even finished one yet. And it would be better for me to get 50 shitty pictures of girls than it would be for me to get like one really good picture of a girl. It's like if I did one picture of the quality of this example picture of Gargura here, well, that would be all well and good, but it's an unplayable game. Whereas, you know, when you look at one of my examples that I pull out over and over again is Higurashi. And what the hell? I just accidentally pinned something to the start menu. But anyway, one of the things that I pull up over and over again is Higurashi no Nakokoro ni. And if you jump down into that particular area and you look at the initial character art when it was first released, it's kind of crap. You know, that's not by any stretch of the imagination a great picture. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that being kind of a crap picture. Obviously, the game came out like that, and it was immensely popular. The quality of the artwork is just not that important. And Steam is full of games that have kind of crappy artwork. You know, it's even Pre-Strike has some moderately untalented artwork. I mean, it's decent enough, but the artwork isn't the point. It's good enough. It does the job, but it's not necessarily what anybody would call pro quality. And because it's not necessarily pro quality, a lot of people go, yeah, this art is crappy. But you know what? Fuck those people. They're not actually seeing the forest for the trees. The point of this is to do a good game. A lot of these people that are doing quote unquote professional quality graphics, they're asset flipping. They're buying the graphics from a library online. I'm doing all of this shit myself because I think that's more fun. Also, I don't have any money to buy assets. So, but the whole idea here is to go from absolutely nothing and build the game without having to buy anything, without having to hire anybody, anything like that. Because every time I try to do that, I run into problems. I'll tell somebody this is the kind of thing I want, and they're like, "Yeah, that'll be great." And then they charge me a bunch of money, and they deliver something like that Higurashi picture I just showed you, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is not that good." And they're like, "Well, fuck you. You're gonna have to pay a lot more money." Okay, then what the hell ever. I'll throw this away, and you keep the money, and that'll be that. Which is kind of how things always work out. So I'm trying to do everything myself here instead of involving anyone because involving people doesn't get the job done, and because it doesn't get the job done, I'm not happy with it. So anyway, those are the major things right there. I need to start thinking about effects because it's like I want to put the panty counter up here in the corner, up where currently we have the sound settings, but I'll move the sound settings off into their own window. They'll have their own special dialogue with a label that says sound settings. I need to think about localization. I don't anticipate needing to translate this, but it's a good idea to have the pieces in place so it can be translated if I ever decide to translate it, instead of having to backfill everything and rework it all and potentially break shit. So I need to think in terms of what they call internationalization, I-18N. And let's see. So I want to put the panties counter up here in the corner, and when you've groped the girl enough, I want panties to fly up off of the picture and to fly up to the counter where they fade out of view and your counter goes up and all that sort of thing. And just neat little effects. So it's funny. It needs to be fun. It needs to be funny. When you click, the little cursor makes a grabbing motion and it makes a noise, and then when the panties come off, they should come off and there should be a cloth falling noise or something, and they should just and it'll fly up to your counter up in the corner and it should count them up. It should be fun to watch. It should be fun. It should be funny. It should be something that's enjoyable, even if you don't find the idea of the number going up. Ooh, the number went up. That's the greatest thing ever. Well, if you don't think the number going up is the greatest thing ever, at least you get to see panties fly across the screen. That'll be funny. And at least you'll have a sound effect of you grope the girl long enough and she makes a noise and all the panties fly up into the corner. It should be fun. It should be funny. It should be something that people can have a reaction to. If you can't have a reaction to it, then you didn't do a good enough job. Similarly, the damage per second, I need to figure out how that works, and I need to work that out over here. Currently, the plan is to have this guy, Ollie the Magic Bum, who just hangs out on the side, and once you collect enough panties, then you can go talk to Ollie and you can give him panties and he'll give you power-ups. And the power-ups will improve the power of your groping, and eventually you can get the auto-groping hand, which is a separate hand that just floats around the screen and gropes the girls for you. That will be fun. That'll be funny. I'm looking forward to putting that bit in. And then all of that just kind of fits together, and there needs to be some kind of, I want a background behind this. I want some kind of interface over here where you have all of your different little screen elements and your options that you can click on here, and over here there needs to be like game elements and stuff that you can do, and in here there needs to be some kind of power-up display options. I need to figure out how the actual game works. What exactly is the game around this? However it works, this bit over here on the right-hand side, that's going to be like your menu with all of your options and stuff, all of the things that you can change. This over here on the left is going to be your status display. It's mostly going to be just information, not a lot of stuff that you interact with. And then down here is another status display that'll mostly be for like power-ups. And DPS Idol has an interesting sort of collectible card game mechanic where you collect individual cards that help you deal with stuff. I want to have a panty collecting mechanic where like the girls drop special panties of like patterns and whatnot, and, you know, different gaudy colors. And as you collect the panties, you get like special powers and special features. I'm not sure whether that's going to be something where you need to spend the panties or you just like have a certain number of panties and the ability automatically happens. I'm leaning in the direction of you have to spend the panties. But I don't know. But that'll be like a collector's thing. You'll have like a display down here to tell you like how many of which panties you have collected. And then that'll be like fun for some reason. I'll do something to make that fun. That's a thing that can happen. But anyway, I will put that together, and I'll have some kind of idea how the mechanics work. And how the mechanics work is not really all that important right now, because the key element, as I just like harp on this over and over again, gotta have the anime checks. You gotta have like different types of anime checks, like different themes. I don't know what kind of themes I'm going to work with, but what I do know is the place I need to start with this, the place I need to start with all of this stuff is now we'll put these gameplay. Turn that off. The thing that I need to start with is really the idea of thumbnailing. I need to do a series of small sketches. They're just like nothing more than gesture drawings to identify the kind of things that I want in the game. And if I just do these little gesture drawings to say, I need a girl that's in this pose and a girl that's in that pose and a girl that's in the other pose, I mean, really differentiating the individual girls is mostly a question of your hairstyle, your eyes, and your outfit. That's not that difficult. You just kind of, yeah, well, actually, the outfit is difficult because the outfit pretty much is the character. In fact, the outfit and the hair pretty much is the character. Just like recoloring eyes isn't going to do all that much. That's not going to be a huge deal, recoloring eyes, but yeah, it is kind of important for me to think about what are these girls wearing, and it's important to think about silhouette. Like the first couple girls, like a kind of boring pose. I'll have the next one facing the opposite direction, or maybe like turning around. It'd be like a girl kind of turning around like she had her back to you, and then you came up behind her and went, ha ha, and started groping her, and she turned around and was like, what the fuck? Because that's what a girl would do, is just like turn around and be, what the fuck? If you just walked up and started groping her. Which is a bad, don't try that. That's a bad idea. Groping people is presumptuous and rude. Do not actually grope people. So I need to think about like what. And then you would have like some sassy girl who's just like standing here and she's got like hands on her hips and acting all annoyed at you. And you could have like a flirty one or something, or like I don't know what kind of need to be different way, and you have girls face. How should I differentiate? Not a it's not a simple. Be useful to think about what the settings are too. Obviously, you gotta have a schoolyard. You gotta get the schoolgirl uniforms. You have to have the schoolgirl uniforms in there. That's required. You can't do anime chicks and not do schoolgirl uniforms. So we need a school. Should probably have a train and like girls in business attire, something like that. Maybe an office building. That would be interesting. You have like we could flop back and forth between those. Yeah. We could have like the school. Then we could have a train, and then we could have an office building, and then we could have like a bus or something. And the bus would take you back to the school or maybe someplace else. So we could have like a location and then transit. You would be in a location groping the girls that hang out there, and then you'd take some form of transit and grope the girls on the transit, and then you go to a new location. It would just kind of cycle. That would fit together and make sense. Okay, so if we go school, bus, have an office, and a train, and then maybe just like a store. And then I don't know. Well, we've got a bus and a train. What about a ferry? Yeah, we could have a. Actually, we should take the ferry to the. We should do this the other way around. Really, we should start with the store. Start at the store, and then get on a bus, go to the school, and then from the school we would take a train to the office, and then after the office we'd take the ferry back to the store because it's late, and trains aren't running anymore, so you have to take the ferry. I don't know. I mean, I may be overthinking the storyline of this game. I don't know if people necessarily give a shit about. In fact, I know people don't give a shit about this and will not read it and will not pay attention to it. And no matter how I present it, they'll be like, "Come on, just let me play the fucking game. I'm here to grope anime girls until they drop their panties. Stop trying to tell a story." Okay, man, I get it. No story, groping in panties. That's what you're here for. I think that's where my voice drops out. By the way, is when I lower my head and talk downward instead of talking up toward the microphone. I'm not sure what exactly I should be doing about that. Maybe I need to. I need to just locate my microphone in a slightly different place. Well, I don't want it taking up the wrong space of the camera. That's frustrating and annoying. I'll come up with something. Maybe my microphone needs to be like down off to the side over here, maybe over here. That might be a good place for it. I'd have to rework it and make sure it sounds okay, but would it be in my way if it was over here and I was drawing? It would. It would very much be in my. Huh. I'll come up with something. I'll mess around. I'll try different stuff. I don't want my voice dropping out all the time. Y'all need to hear my voice. I love hearing myself talk. Y'all probably love hearing me talk too, right? That's why you're here. Yeah, I need to thumbnail a bunch of these and get some idea what it is that I'm doing, what kind of outfits people are wearing. So we're gonna have the school, we're gonna have the office, we're gonna have the store, um, and then we might go off into like some other locations. I'll have to think about that. Currently, what I'm thinking along the lines of is you're just like running around town, and the Pantsugami are running around all over the place because Japanese panty spirits have invaded the area. But huh, we really need room to get some fantasy elements in here so people can have like anime chicks in armor and anime chicks. You must have a beach level. That's required. You can't do anything with anime chicks and not have a beach level. I should put all the girls at the office in bikinis. I put all the office girls in swimsuits for no good reason, just because you have to have girls in swimsuits. So we'll do that in the office. Or we could do it at the store. Or on the ferry. We could just like the girls on the ferry are wearing swimsuits. I don't know. I'll come up with something. But you absolutely have to have, you must have girls in swimsuits. That's absolutely necessary. Okay, so we're going to have a bunch of girls in swimsuits. We're going to have a bunch of girls in school uniforms, probably a bunch of girls in business suits or business attire, a bunch of girls in casual attire. We need the fantasy element. We need to be able to put like chicks in armor and chicks in fancy ball gowns and dresses and kind of cater to that particular aspect of people. We need to have chicks that look like they're 7 years old because guys love chicks that are 7 years old in anime for some reason. And hey, it's not like you're doing anything to them other than getting them to drop their panties. They're not real girls anyway. This is a terrible idea. I definitely need to do deliberately court the controversy. Around level 10, you have to start groping children. This is an awful idea. Yeah, that's a really terrible idea. But it's funny, and that's the important. The important thing is that it's funny, and then it makes you go, "What the hell am I playing?" Okay, yeah, that's the most awful idea ever. I kind of love it. We'll do it late in the game, so you're like well into it before it happens. So you're like invested. You've done like 30 levels of this game, and it's like, well, I got to level 31. All the girls are 12. Here are some 5-year-olds. Go group the 5-year-olds. Don't worry, they're not really 5-year-olds. They're Japanese panty spirit. God, this is an awful idea. Yeah, we gotta have the like animal ear girls too, the kimono mimi and all of that sort of thing. And we need to have cat girls and dog girls and panda girls and shark girls and fish girls and dragons and birds and all of that shit. And we need to put some girls in it. You know, we could put girls in like the gothic Lolita attire, but not actually have them be children. Just have them be like wearing those fancy frilly dresses. That's a better idea. I'm more comfortable with that, honestly. Because I don't know. Maybe I don't want to be the guy who made the game where you grow up a bunch of 5-year-olds. Maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't do that. It'd be funny. I wonder if there should be boss characters. That's a good question. Should there be like boss anime girls that you have to fight? Like after you go through a certain number of levels? I don't know. Maybe that'll be cool. Maybe that's a thing that I need to do. I don't know. But I definitely need to. I definitely need to work on doing some thumbnails. Kind of thinking in terms of. Okay, if I begin with the simple, basic question of there's kind of the area where there's the area where our person is going to be right here. Here's the area that our health bar is going to be. So here's kind of the head of the character here, body of the character here. And that's where that's going to fit. Kind of space. So what I need to do is a bunch of I need to do a bunch of individual thumbnails that kind of match that. What I want to do is I want to have a collection of these. Just kind of spread them out a little bit. We'll flatten those down. And goes right about here. Then we'll duplicate that. And this is this will be sort of my thumbnail area. There I go, trying to click the buttons on my tablet with the mouse again. And get that down a bit and call that thumbnails. Okay, so at this point we have a general idea of what these look like and how this is going to fit together. And I need to start thinking about what the do I want to have a full body character in these, or do I just want to go ahead and stick with just kind of the waist up situation? The waist up situation is undoubtedly going to be easier to draw because I don't have to draw hips or butts or anything like that. But no, I think I want to shift them up a bit. I think I want to. I think I want to have the waist right about here. Why are my thumbs? Okay. Hmm. Let's turn them off. Okay. We'll just go ahead and use. We'll put the waistline right about here, so we got room for a bit of butt there. No, we'll lift that up a little. Lift that up a little bit. Whole button a little. Actually, we'll do a new layer here. So what we want is kind of leg, and here's crotch, and here's the other leg, and then butt, and bring the general form of the figure up. Then maybe the arm, you got the hand on the hip, you got this arm down here, you got this hand across here, some neck, and head up here. That would need to be a little bit taller, but not much. Not much. Turn off that thumbnail there. Yeah, that'll work. So that's the direction that we're looking at. Let's rough out these thumbnail spaces here. And once we've roughed out the spaces that the thumbnail go, then we'll begin working on the fundamental question: what goes in the thumbnail? So what we've kind of got is we've got this shoulder level that sits right around here. And we've got this waist level that sits right around here. Yeah. So we're going to have to do a series of thumbnails with different girls, and we might have one who's kind of standing down and looking kind of shy, like, oh no, somebody has determined that I am a pantsugami. Oh no, and I have huge knockers. You gotta have some girls with massive knockers. That'll need some. And she would be trying to stand all demurely and look like inconsequential and stuff. And then we would have this brash bitchy, one who's kind of leaning over and looking directly at you, and just kind of got the boobs hanging down and her hips. Like, the fuck are you looking at? Hey, what the hell are you doing? Running around groping people until their panties fall off. What's wrong with you? And then we need a snooty, snobby woman who's kind of like got her head up in the air and And she's being all patronizing and shit. And she's like, what do you think you're doing running around groping girls? So you'd have this kind of bitchy, annoying girl, but she should like have her arms crossed or something, like, have one arm down and the other hand is like holding on here, and maybe she could be like a bad girl smoking a cigarette or something like that. It's legitimately difficult coming up with a bunch of poses. So if we proceed from this, we've got the one girl who's like, oh, so you're gonna come over here and grope me for my panties, huh? And there's this girl like, what the fuck are you doing? And this is like, oh shit, don't grope me for my panties. And then maybe we'd have a girl that's like freaked out and got her hands. Oh, oh, you're groping me for my panties. Help! This is not at all what I wanted. That's a terrible idea. maybe instead of maybe I should just like completely divorce the question of what they're doing from the idea that you're groping them. Maybe the fun part here is just anime girls in different stereotypical positions, and they're not responding to you. They're not like reacting to what you're doing, because they're all going to have the same reaction. That reaction is, oh, what the fuck? What are you doing? So, so I think maybe I need to ignore the reaction and just go, these are just girls standing around. Hmm. Yeah, I need to come up with a good. I need to come up with a good concept for exactly how these girls are going to be standing, why they're standing this way, what they're doing in this location. Um, Man, it's hard coming up with just 10 poses for girls. Having to come up with 60 is going to be really tough. Hmm. You know what I could do is just do all the same poses and put different clothes on them. Like I could do the basic poses and then I could come back in and draw the clothes later. Might also be a good idea to think in terms of the game eventually having a nude patch that people can pay way too much money for, and then all the girls are naked. Yay! That's exactly what I wanted, was to look at naked anime girls. People would fucking buy it, they would. Really, all I have to do is I just have to do maybe 20 or 30 different poses and then take each of those poses and put different outfits and different hair on them. And then I can rotate those. So it's like at the beginning of every level, I can just I could shuffle which 10 poses there are, which 10 hairstyles there are, and which 10 outfits there are. Or I could just shuffle hair color. I could if I put each of the poses into a different outfit, and I do like 5 different outfits, and I end up having to do, well, it's still 150 images. But then if the heads are swapped, how could I do this so that everything is easily swappable? That's the real question: is how do you make the workflow fit together in a way that you can actually get the work done? And how much of this can I do using the 3D models available in Clip Studio Paint? That's a tool that I can use. It's not cheating. None of it is cheating. If it gets you closer to where you're going, then that's part of the. I make the fucking rules. It's my goddamn game. They're my tools. I buy them. I get to decide how they're used. That's something that I frequently think about, is the question of, because I run into people all the time, and I'm playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto Online the past few days, for the past 4 days specifically, and a lot of people are pissing and moaning that we just got a trailer for GTA Online being ported to the Nintendo Switch and coming to the new generation of consoles. And people are angry. They're like, I thought Rockstar was going to announce Grand Theft Auto 6. But no, we're still doing Grand Theft Auto 5. Because everybody who wants a new game can just shut up. Everybody's buying shark cards. And I'm sitting here and I'm scratching my head and I'm going, a year ago, I paid $8 for Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC. Now, I already had it on my 360 because, of course I did. I pre-ordered that shit. Grand Theft Auto is like the greatest series ever. I've pre-ordered every single Grand Theft Auto game since 3. Once they did Grand Theft Auto 3, okay, GTA 3 was it was a fucking amazing game. I pre-ordered everything thereafter. I pre-ordered Vice City. I pre-ordered San Andreas. I pre-ordered 4. I pre-ordered the Liberty City Lost in the Damned, whatever the fuck it was, that they had on GTA 4, and the Ballad of Gay Tony and all of that. I pre-ordered all that shit. I pre-ordered GTA 5, had it on my console. Well, here's the thing. When I had it on my console and I was trying to play online, everybody was a dick. Because everybody was a dick, I stopped playing. Stopped bothering trying to play because it was just everybody was being such absolute jerks. And then in the last few days, I went back and I was playing, and it's kind of okay. I mean, do I run into jerks? Yeah, I run into jerks. There are a substantial number of jerks. That is a thing that happens whenever you play online with other people. And I don't really like playing online with other people, but there's all this content that I'm not allowed to play if I'm not online. It's like there's this new, like, the Diamond Casino. I can't do anything in the single player campaign with that. I have to log on and go online. And then there's stuff like, if you want to do any motorcycle club business or any CEO business, you want to do any missions where you buy and sell cargo, you have to do it on a public server. Well, okay, I guess I'm playing on a public server a lot, but it's not like I want to, and it's not like I want to interact with any of these people. And at the same time, it's just every once in a while somebody comes along and fucks with you, you know? But the game's fun, and everybody acts like it's some awful thing that Rockstar is producing a single fun game instead of a brand new fun game. when Mojang did Minecraft Dungeons, okay, it was garbage. And nobody liked it. Nobody played it. Nobody enjoyed Minecraft Earth. And Minecraft gets 2 updates a year. They get one in the summer, they get one in the winter. That's how it works. Nobody's bitching about that. And Minecraft has been doing that almost exactly as long as Grand Theft Auto has been doing that. And everybody is basically complaining that they're complaining that they don't have any fun playing this game. And because they don't have any fun playing this game, everybody else needs to stop playing the game, so Rockstar will have no choice but to make another game. Which they did 3 years ago. They made Red Dead Redemption 2, which was extraordinarily well received, and the industry shit awards all over it, and all of the critics pissed themselves over how great it was and couldn't shut up about it, and everybody loves it, and it's a fantastic game, and it also has an online component. Everybody's like, oh, great! Now they're going to be updating this game's online instead of making a new game. Well, yeah, if Red Dead Redemption Online is getting updated instead of getting Red Dead Redemption 3, then you get to play new content without buying a new game. I mean, really, I'm kind of amazed at how much shit Rockstar has put out for Grand Theft Auto Online, and they haven't charged you a dime for it. They haven't charged for any of it. It's just like, there, here you go. New content. And everybody complains that it costs too much. And I'm just like, of course it costs too much. It's new. It needs to take you a while to get it. You need to work for it. You need to earn it. And then you'll have it. But people complain about it constantly. And I'm running around on servers. I mean, I just made rank 22. And I'm running around on servers with people that are in the 280 and 560, and occasional guys are in the 7,000s. And they have effectively unlimited money, and they bought everything there is to buy in the game that's worth buying. I don't have any of that shit. It's still a fun game. Them having fun differently than I do doesn't make my game worse. I don't understand the mindset about people who get mad about other people using the tools in the game. Like, somebody takes an Oppressor Mark II and they fly it around the map and they blow people up. Okay, I'm going to be mad at them if they blow me up. But if they only do it once or twice, fuck it, shit happens. If they're doing it over and over, then I'm going to quit and I'm going to go to a new session. But yeah, I think of it just like road hazards, I mean, when I'm playing GTA, whether it's online or not, the other day I'm playing online, I'm driving down the street, and a police car comes around the corner and slams into me. Now I have hit a police car, so I get a 1-star wanted level. And the cops immediately get mad at me, and at 1-star wanted levels, they start shooting in online. So this car comes around the corner, runs into me, I get a 1-star wanted level, and while I'm still going, what the fuck, what just happened? One of the cops gets out of the car with a shotgun and just fucking caps me right there. Happened in less than a second. I'm driving down the street, minding my own business, a cop comes out, runs into me, and then shoots me, and I'm dead. That's really not that different from a bullshitty player who comes running up in his flying motorbike and spams a bunch of homing rockets at me. It's not very different at all. I mean, the end effect is the same. I died and I have to respawn. Shit like that happens constantly. I'm walking across the street and a car slams into me and I die. I'm driving down the street. I try to go around a car. He decides for some reason to ram into me, knock me into the guardrail. I catapult through the windshield and pancake against a truck on the other side of the highway. Shit happens. You know, it happens all the time. You die for no good reason in Grand Theft Auto because that's how the game works. What are you going to do? Get mad at the physics engine? That's it? People always seem to be angry that other people are using tools the wrong way. And yeah, I'll say it again. They're my tools. I buy them. You can't tell me how I'm allowed to use the tools that I buy. You can't tell other people what they're allowed to do with their own shit. And there is, generally speaking, this sort of honor code on GTA Online servers. I stumbled across this just in the course of reading discussion forums and watching YouTube videos. There's this kind of honor code that when somebody's moving cargo, you don't fuck with them. You just leave them alone. And the game says, hey, you could steal the cargo and get rank points and money, but maybe don't. There's other stuff you could do for more money. They're shit rewards anyway. You don't get that many rank points for them. You don't get that much money for it. It's like I was moving 2 crates of cargo, and some guy spammed a bunch of rockets at me and destroyed it. He destroyed the cargo. He doesn't get any money. I'm not carrying enough money to drop any. So it's just, he cost me $8,000. $8,000 is dick in this game. It's nothing. It doesn't make a fucking difference. Even if you count, well, what would it be worth if I sold it? Oh, that'd be $30,000. Oh my God. $30,000. Holy shit. I would have to rob 3 stores for that money. Actually, I think you'd have to rob like 5 or 6. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to how much money you get robbing stores. I just rob them to get the wanted level so I can run away from it and get the rank points. That's where I've gotten almost all of my rank in GTA Online, is just running from the cops. Just running from cops. That's it. The cops start chasing me, I run away from them, and when the wanted level goes away, I get rank. I'm happy with that. That works. It's got me up to rank 22. I mean, I've done some other shit too, but mostly my rank comes from running away from the cops. That's about it. And it's not like I have tried especially hard to rank up in the game. You know, I need to rank up, but it's just like, I better go do some shit. Oh, I didn't make that many rank points from that. I better go do some more shit. That's how it works. You know, it's kind of grindy in the initial stages. But we're also at the point now where you start with the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack because you can't buy the game without it anymore. And it's like, last year I got it for sale half price. I think it was like $7.70. And then with tax, it ended up being like $8 and change. So I pay $8 for this game, you know? And I automatically start with a half dozen buildings that would ordinarily cost about $13 million, and $1 million in my pocket, and a whole selection of vehicles that I get for free, including a helicopter and a motorbike and an armored muscle car. There's all of this shit that I get for free just because, you know, they turned around and bundled this collection of stuff in there. And there's just not all that much shit I have to grind for. I have plenty of stuff to enjoy myself and have fun in the game. But people are still pissing and moaning that, oh, you didn't have to work for that. You didn't have to earn it. Working for it and earning it was easier back in the day. Now the economy's all inflated. You got to give people this hand up. But I'm kind of way off topic here, but some of the things that I've been thinking in terms of GTA Online is people are mad at how other people play the game. they're not mad because they're not having fun. They're mad because they're not having fun and other people are. And they feel like that's somehow unfair. I see that kind of cascading through a lot of young people in modern society. Another thing that people get mad about is that they have to work for something and they can't have it right now. Like there are all of these people that are complaining, hey, you know, I started playing GTA Online because I wanted to do this Cayo Perico heist. But to do the Cayo Perico heist, I have to pay $2 million for a submarine. Yeah, I'm still saving up for the submarine. I had 1.3 million at one point, but I accidentally bought a $500,000 laser rifle, the Widowmaker. That was a fuck up. And then to try and make the money back, I went and I bought a warehouse, and I discovered that running a warehouse doesn't really make that much money. Really? It's like I paid $360,000 for a warehouse, and I've done 3 fully loaded cargo runs out of it, and it's paid for itself. The profit from selling the stock has paid for the warehouse at this point, so it's like I've just broken even. But that was several hours of work, and I don't think it was really worth it. So I took myself down from like 1.3 million to less than $500,000, and now I'm back up to about 700,000. I spent a bunch of that on like weapons and shit. I had one mission where I needed a homing rocket launcher to complete it. And I'm like, that's $100,000. What would I do what if I didn't have $100,000? I just couldn't do the fucking mission. There's a lot of shit like that in the game, you know, but there are people who want stuff right now and they don't want to work for it. And there are people who get mad that somebody else is enjoying something they don't enjoy. And there are people who are getting mad because the game just exists and they wish something else existed. I don't know what to think of this shit, you know? And then another thing that I've been kind of thinking about with GTA Online is I would never behave like this in Fallout or Skyrim. It's like, why is it okay for me to just go run over pedestrians left and right in GTA, and I won't snipe guards from a hidden vantage point in Skyrim? Or, you know, I won't just go on a rampage and kill wastelanders in Fallout. Why will I not do that in Skyrim and Fallout, but I'll do that in GTA? I don't really have an answer to that. Kind of the direction I'm leaning with it as I look at it and I go, I think it's because in Skyrim and Fallout, I feel like I'm connected to these people. They have names, they have jobs, they have things that they do. You can pick any random NPC in Skyrim and just follow them around and they'll do shit, you know? Whereas in GTA, the city is full of people with no name, no purpose. They spawn, they walk down the street, they despawn, that's it. They spawn in a car. The car drives around. You run into the car, they get out and try to beat you up. They have a particular driving style. They have a certain AI. They're not individuals. You don't interact with them in any meaningful way. So I'm thinking that might have something to do with it. Because I'm not only am I not okay with doing that kind of stuff in Fallout and Skyrim, I get annoyed when other people are okay with it and think that's a fun thing to do. I'm like, what? Why would you? Why? You know? Why would? But yeah, Nazim's a dick, but he doesn't deserve to die. Why would you kill Bellathor? That's not nice. That's not fair. Why, the people in Whiterun are like family. Leave them alone. The people in Riverwood are like family. The people in Falkreath, it's just that entire little area down there in the south of the map in Skyrim. Those are your friends. Those are your buddies. Go kill a bunch of dickheads in Markarth. Sure, that's fine, but like Falkreath and Riverwood and Whiterun, hey, leave my people alone. Kind of don't like the Civil War quests for exactly that reason, because you have to attack Whiterun. I don't want to attack Whiterun. I don't like that at all. You have to attack Falkreath. I don't like to attack Falkreath. You have to attack Windhelm. I don't like to attack Windhelm. These are my peoples down here. I don't like. I mean, most of the south and east of the map, I just go, hey, those are my friends. Leave them alone. But then you go up north, it's like you go up to Solitude, I don't fucking care. Markarth, yeah, fuck them. Dawnstar don't make me fucking laugh. I don't care about them at all. Wonder why. Amount of time spent in a given city? I don't know. Spend a lot of time in Markarth, though, and I kind of don't give a shit about anybody. Bethella from the Hag's Cure. That would upset me if somebody was like, I always kill Bethella. Man, fuck you. What kind of dickhead are you? I do so much business with Bethella. She's awesome. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I think about. I think about that stuff a lot. And one of the things that I really kind of want to avoid in my own game or games is I don't want anybody to get mad that somebody else is playing differently. But at the same time, I want you to be able to play however you want. So I think I just have to accept that a lot of people are going to get mad that folks play a game differently. You can't really control that. You can't control the question of what other people think of something. That's just that's not a thing that you have control over. I rambled a lot about Grand Theft Auto today instead of doing any actual work, any actual sketching. I've got to refine this. I've got to refine this idea of what the poses are going to look like. I think what I need to do is I need to pull some photo reference and yeah, I think what I need to pull a bunch of like fashion photos, models in Cosmopolitan and Redbook and shit like that. I think that's what I need, is like that kind of fashion model pose. And we'll put the Pantsugami in those poses. And there'll be a bunch of, maybe I should just watch a few episodes of America's Top Model. That might be useful. That might be helpful. Then again, maybe not. I don't know. But I do think fashion models are the right place to look for this kind of information. And I think that'll make good pose reference. And then I should get like specific anime reference for like archetypes of characters, school and business. And they have fairies in Japan. They must have fairies in Japan. You'd need one to get to Hokkaido, wouldn't you? Pretty sure you would. Knowing them, they have a fucking bridge. A 47-mile long bridge that goes all the way. Takes an hour to drive across. And there's a toll in the middle. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't put a toll in the middle. That would suck. Can you imagine getting 25 miles across a bridge and having to turn around? God, that would be awful. Yeah, I think that's really my next step. I think I've uncovered something important here, which is I honestly do not know how to pose these anime chicks that are going to be in the middle of the screen. This is why I need to focus on productive stuff, because it's just like drawing anime chicks is not It's not the major problem. I need to know what poses these girls are going to be in. And I need to do some work on that. I will work on that for Wednesday. Wednesday's video, I will cover the process I use to look up reference, find the poses that I'm looking for. And I think on Wednesday, what I will do is I will talk about the references that I have picked up and how I'm using those references, and maybe just kind of lead by example on that as much as I can. Maybe do some rough in and skeleton eyes and talk about the composition basing on poses and moving poses onto different characters, that kind of thing. I'm not sure how good I'll be at that, but yeah, I think that's what I'll do Wednesday, is talk about finding reference and using reference, and how to alter reference so you're not just copying it and nobody goes, "You stole my pose," which is not a fucking thing. Shut the fuck up. "You stole my pose. That is my copyrighted pose for my character. You stole my color scheme." Dude, if the best you've ever come up with is a pose and a color scheme, I'll bet you stole it. So fuck you. Yeah, that's pretty much where things sit. That's where I need to go look up some reference. I need to pull down that reference, and in Wednesday's video, I'll talk about that reference, and I will talk about how to use the reference and how to actually like make fundamental, meaningful progress with it. And I really do need to focus on how productive is the work I'm doing in terms of actually getting the game done. Because that's important. I need to make forward progress on this game. That's really the important part, is to make more progress on this. Gonna feel weird playing this game without Gargora's picture in it. But anyway, I'll go ahead and save this. Thumbnails 1. All right. And that's about it for this stream. I don't have a whole lot to talk about. I'll go ahead and discard this. That one's just a screenshot of the game anyway. So anyway, that's is what I have to say. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording, but I will hang around after the recording and the stream's stopped for a while. I'll hang around and like voice chat and shit. So again, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube and did not watch it live, yeah, you got to jump up my Discord to watch it live. Not that it's especially exciting, but you know, the interactive section of everything is going to happen like after the recording stops, and you don't get to see that. You got to watch it on YouTube, you fucking loser. Oh, and make sure you like and subscribe, loser. That's a great way to treat your audience, is call them losers. That was a terrible idea. I was trying to come up with a good way to end the video. That didn't work well. I think I should just stick with okay, bye.